Hey there, yoga friends. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me on the mat today. I'm here to guide us through a sequence that's going to lead us to a really fun peak posture, bird of paradise. Now, to help us get into that pose, we'll be warming up the body with a strap and two blocks. So go gather those items or perhaps some household items that could be used in place of them and keep them close by. We're going to start on our back and have the strap within arm's reach when you get there. So let's begin in Shavasana, legs outstretched, toes falling apart, palms up by your side. Stay here together for about 5 deep breaths. Slowly turning that attention inwards. Just allowing ourselves to arrive as we are. As we keep that concentration on what is happening in every present moment. Now we can begin to open up our eyes if they were shut and take hold of the strap in both hands. We're going to bend the right knee so that we can loop this strap just below the ball mound of your right foot as you start extending the heel upwards towards the sky. Now, as you do this, we're slowly warming into the hamstrings and the back of the leg. So go slowly. You might still have a bend in the knee, but keep your arms straight. So walk up the hands as much as you need to onto the strap to find that there. Shoulders are relaxed, and really use your breath compassionately as you send it into the tighter areas on the back of your leg. Imagine that breath is just massaging your hamstrings. Now keep everything the same, but imagine you are trying to kick the ceiling away. So bringing that foot a little closer to the sky, really activating this stretch. And so you're almost resisting the strap with your foot. Take a couple more deep breaths. And just relax that effort you found. Now bring both pieces of the strap into your right hand. Your left palm might be happy on the ground beside you, anchoring yourself down as we slowly open up the right leg out to the side, finding a different angle for this stretch. Now make sure you don't topple over. Do your best to keep the backside of both hips on the ground as well as the shoulders. And when you found an area that is sustainable to hold, take 3 more deep breaths. We can lift that right leg back up to the sky. And now let's bring a bend into the knee. The knee can go a little wider than your hip. Walk that hand up to a little closer to the foot to keep that arm straight. It's almost as if you're in a half happy baby here. Let's take a few deep breaths. Alrighty, now it's time to release that foot out of the grip of your strap and allow it to just rest beside the left leg back in Shavasana. Now we can head on over to the left side. Bring a bend into the knee. Take your strap, loop it around just below the ball mount. Start extending the heel towards the sky. Walk up the hands onto the strap so you have straight arms but still relaxed shoulders. And just allow this passive stretch to slowly open up the back of your left leg. Focus again on the breath, and perhaps you can send it into the back of the leg. Now, keeping the shape the same, we'll just add a little bit more effort in. Imagine you're kicking the ceiling away, resisting the pressure of the strap on the foot, really activating into this stretch. And let that effort go. Both pieces of strap can travel to the left hand. Right hand will anchor you down by your side and start opening up the leg out to the left, doing your best not to topple over again. So find that shape where you can keep the whole back body onto the ground, and take 3 more deep breaths. Lifting the leg back to the sky. Invite a bend into the knee, and your left hand can walk up closer to your foot, finding your half happy baby. Allow the foot to escape the hold of the strap. Release the ankle out. Both legs can relax for a moment. Let's pull our knees into our chests and rock and roll our way up to a seat. Now we're going to be sitting either on your shins or cross-legged for a moment. You're more than welcome to sit on a block if that suits you. And let's take hold of our strap. Now in Bird of Paradise requires a lot of flexibility in the legs as well as open shoulders. So let's do some shoulder flossing. We'll take our strap ahead of us with a loose grip and a wide grip of the hands. Start reaching the arms to the sky. Let that strap widen in the hands if needed as you pull the strap back behind you. And we'll bring it all the way back forwards. So the closer the hands are together, the more difficult this is, and the wider the hands are apart, the easier this is for the shoulders. So just find that ideal width between the hands, hold on tight to the strap, and bring it forwards and back. Now, a few things to just notice here is if you tend to thrust the ribs out as you do your best to bring the strap behind. So try to resist that, keeping everything tucked in. And also if you notice one shoulder slipping forwards or backwards before the other, do your best to resist that as well so they're both traveling at the same rate. Good. And the next time that strap comes ahead, we can place it off to the side, and let's find tabletop, hands and knees. So spread your fingertips rather wide. We can do some scapular push-ups today. So imagine you're pressing the mat away, sending the shoulder blades far apart, and then let the chest drop down as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. So a very subtle movement. Puff up into the upper back, press the mat away, then allow them to draw together and squeeze as the chest comes down. Do that a few more times, and you might notice just some warming happening into the shoulders. Good. Let's meet with a neutral spine. So somewhere between those two. We'll tuck the toes under and press our hips up and back to downward facing dog. Let the feet wander for a moment, bending one knee at a time. Look left and right. Loosen up your jaw. Begin looking forwards to the front of the mat, and we can tiptoe our way all the way to meet the hands. When you get there, let's inhale, halfway lift the spine. Exhale, float back down. And inhale, rise all the way to stand. Exhale, hands rest down beside you. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, float forwards over your legs. Inhale, step the left leg back behind. And exhale, bring the knee to the ground, keeping the back toes tucked. Opportunity to use the blocks here under the palms. Inhale, come forwards into the hips, shine the heart to the front. And as you exhale, lift the hips up and back, straightening your legs into a hamstring stretch. Inhale, tap the back knee down, heart reaches forwards. And exhale, back to your hamstring stretch. 2 more of those. Move with your breath. Come on back forwards, bring a bend into both knees. Blocks can just slide off to the side. Plant your palms and let's meet in downward facing dog. Right foot steps back. Inhale, wave yourself forwards to plank. Exhale, lower to the belly. Inhale, small cobra, point the toes, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, lower down. And inhale, meeting again in downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths when we arrive. Use your inhale to stretch the right leg back behind you. And as you exhale, step that foot wide of your right hand, so towards the pinky side. And we're going to do the same thing on the left side. Spring the left foot forwards, wide of the left hand as you set the seat down, heading towards Malasana. Now we're going to come into this pose a few times. So if your hands are comfortable at heart center, you can practice that. You can always slide a block under the seat or even hold onto the front of the mat to try to anchor the heels down. Now let's let the fingertips find the ground, send your seat to the sky, and heel toe your feet right under the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, float back down. And inhale, rise all the way to stand. Exhale, hands down beside you. Inhale, stretch the arms up. And exhale to fold. Inhale, your right leg steps back. Exhale, lower the knee down. Opportunity to use those blocks again. Inhale, come a little deeper into the hips, shine the heart to the front. And exhale, straighten both legs into a hamstring stretch. 3 more. Inhale, bring you forward, lunging into the hips. And exhale, open up the backs of your legs. 2 to go on your own with your breath. When you're done there, bend both knees, slide the blocks out of the way, plant the palms, and step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forwards to plank. Exhale, you choose this time, belly or to chaturanga. Inhale, maybe it's one small cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, meeting in downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. As you inhale, stretch the left leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, step wide of your left hand. Now springing forward with the right foot, wide of the right hand, set your seat down. Revisiting our yoga squat malasana. And if the palms are at heart center, find that little pressure between the knees and the elbows. Try to lift the spine a little bit taller out of the hips. Both fingertips can find the ground. Send the seat to the sky and heel toe those feet right under your hips again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, float back down. And inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands down beside you. Good. Inhale, stretch the arms to the sky. And exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, step the left leg back. We'll keep the knee up this time. And when you're ready, come on up to high lunge, arms by the ears. Take a big breath in, arms lifted. And as you breathe out, pull the elbows down to a cactus shape. Inhale, lean back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And exhale, round forwards as the forearms come to touch. Inhale, open up the heart space. And exhale, lean forward, spread the shoulder blades apart. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, heart wide open. And exhale, rounding it off. Inhale, lift the spine tall, find this cactus shape again with the arms. Keep the elbows reaching out from the shoulders, but we're going to switch where the fingers are pointing. Point them down. Good. All right, let's create fists with both hands. Reach them back behind you. Try to bring both sets of knuckles together. And from here, you might even consider lifting the hands away from the back. Really challenge those shoulders to open up and start to open up the spine again into a back bend. Look up at the ceiling and take 3 deep breaths. Now it's possible those knuckles are just right onto the center of the back, and that is okay as well. Good. Look straight ahead. And we're going to open up to warrior 2. So stretch the arms out to the side, pivot and drop the back heel down. Let's bring the left hand to the left leg. Right arm stretches up. Look on up at the fingertips. Get a little more spacious through the right rib cage. Now lean way forwards. We'll start by bringing your right forearm to the right thigh as the left arm makes its way by your ear. But let's invite ourselves to go a little bit deeper today. So the right fingertips might drop down to the inside of your right foot or to a block if you're using it. Now let's continue to roll the left shoulder open. Look on up to the sky. Find some power in the legs. Press back up, warrior 2. And we're going to cartwheel the hands down to frame your front foot, pivot to the ball mound of your back foot, and we're going to widen our stance. So wiggle the right foot all the way out to the edge of the mat. Both hands are now on the inside, and we can lower the back knee down. Now it might be more comfortable to just double up the mat, so that's an option for you. We're going to stay in this wide, low lizard lunge for a moment. So you might be happy with tented fingers. You might consider coming down to the forearms onto your blocks, or even perhaps the forearms right down to the mat. Now continue to keep the whole right foot onto the mat, hugging in the side of your body with the side of your thigh or the inside of your thigh together. Let's allow this opening to happen over the next 4 breaths. Now let's come out of the depths. We can come back up to the palms or slide the blocks out of the way. Wiggle that back knee a little closer to you. And we're going to plant the palms so your right foot steps back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come on forward, shoulders over wrists. And exhale, lower. Inhale for a back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, reach the right leg to the sky. As you exhale, step wide of the right palm. Springing forward with the left foot as well, and bend the knees so the seat comes down, Malasana. Let's let the fingertips find the mat, send the seat to the sky, and bring your feet just a little bit closer together, but maybe still a little bit wider than your hips. We're going to add on from here. Take one of your blocks to its highest height in front of the right foot. Bring your hands to heart center and pop up onto your right toes. Now imagine you're nuzzling your right elbow into the inner right knee, and we're going to step that right foot up onto the tiptoes on top of your block. So we're already halfway lifted here. Now find that connection, keep pressing them together, and we're going to do our best to lift the spine and leg together, so a lot of balance and concentration. And as soon as we are lifted, allow the right foot to come down under the hip, hands down beside you. Good. So little building blocks that will lead us to that final pose. Let's do the same on the other side. Inhale, arms reach overhead, and exhale, fold forwards. As you inhale, step the right leg back, and then step on up to high lunge, arms overhead. Take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, pull the elbows down to cactus. Inhale, lean back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, lean forwards, round the spine, forearms come together. Inhale, open up that heart space. Exhale, come back, rounding forwards. 2 more, move with your breath. Keep those feet anchoring you down. Now the next time you open up into a cactus shape, stay there, and we'll point the fingers down to the ground. Create fists and start bringing the fists together behind you into the center of your back. Now see if you can lift those hands off your back and start lifting the chest up to introduce a back bend in. Good. Let's look straight ahead again. We're going to meet in Warrior Two. Open up those arms, anchor that back heel down. Inhale, reverse your warrior, left arm to the sky. And we're going to go the other way, extended side angle. So either starting with that shelf forearm on the thigh, right arm stretching overhead, or invite yourself to go deeper, hand onto the ground or a block. Find some power in the legs, press up, Warrior Two, look down the left palm. And then both hands cartwheel down, framing your front foot and pivoting to the ball mound of your back foot. Now let's lower the back knee down and widen your stance, heel toe that left foot to the edge. Both arms are on the inside now. And decide how deep you want to go. Tented hands, forearms onto blocks, or all the way to the ground. Keep hugging in that inner thigh towards the side of your body. Let's start lifting out of the depths. Blocks can slide away. Wiggle the back knee forwards, and we'll step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come forwards to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale for a back bend of your choice. And exhale, downward facing dog. As you take your next breath in, stretch the left leg back behind. And as you breathe out, step wide of the left palm. We're going to spring forward with the right foot as well, heading towards Malasana. Seat comes down, and if possible, hands by the heart. Now, the same connection that we're finding here with the elbows and the inner thighs is what we're going to look for in this next move as well. Alrighty, so the fingertips drop down and seat goes to the sky. Your feet can stay wide, but just have the toes point forwards of the heels. Finding our prop, bring it to its highest height in front of the left foot as we begin to pop up onto the left toes and hands by the heart. Nuzzle your elbow into the inner thigh or knee. We're going to take a little step up to the top of our block. So giving ourselves a boost. Now, press into the right foot, straighten out the spine. Keep that connection pressing in until you come all the way up. And when you're ready, both feet can find the ground, hands down beside you. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, fold down over your legs. Inhale, step the left leg back. When you're ready, come on up to high lunge, and if you have the strap close by, bring it up with you. Good. From here, we're going to reach the hands back behind you, and today, let's use the strap between the hands. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to just clasp opposite hands together, but I'll do this whole sequence with our strap. So the hands can walk as close or as far apart as you would like, and really squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the hands off your low back, reintroducing that back bend in, opening up the throat to the sky. We can look straight ahead, keep the hands where they are, but open up to warrior two legs. Take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, coming forwards, bowing down to humble warrior. Find that nice close connection again of the inner thigh to the outer body as you stretch the arms up overhead. Now, when you're holding onto the strap, you can really explore separating the hands as well and lifting the hands even further away from the back. So just play around, see what's feeling nice. You can press into the legs, rise back up, and release the hands out to warrior two, but keep hold of the strap in your right hand. Good. We'll come forward for extended side angle. So start by shelving the right forearm to thigh, left arm by the ear. If you can come back into lowering the right hand down to the ground, or go for a bind today. So we'll start with the top hand, the left hand, the back of the hand will come to the back, the low back. And now the right hand will drop down a little lower and see if it can reach around for the left palm. Now you've got that strap already in your hand, so you can hold onto it with both sides as you now focus on rolling the left shoulder open and looking up. Now let's just drop the strap where it is. Press through the legs, rise up, warrior two. I can cartwheel the hands down, stepping back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come forwards to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, inserting a back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch the right leg back behind you. Exhale, step it wide of the right palm. And now springing forwards, doing the same on the left side as your seat settles down to Malasana. Find a few clearing breaths where we are. As the fingertips make their way to the ground, send the seat to the sky and pivot those toes ahead of the heels. Taking hold of your block, bringing it to its highest height in front of the right foot. And we are going to keep the strap in the right hand this time. Now, step your right toes up to that block. Take hold of the strap again. Bring the left hand to the low back and the right arm around. So we're looking for that bind again, holding on to both sides of the strap. Slowly, slowly bring the weight into the left foot. Lift on up to a straight-ish spine. And when you're all the way lifted, you can play around by seeing if you can straighten out the right leg any amount. Now to come out of this one, let's come all the way back down. We'll drop the right toes all the way to the ground with control. Loosen up that bind. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, float back down. And inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands down beside you. So a little taste of bird of paradise in this sequence here, and we can try it again on the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, step the right leg back. When you're ready, you're coming up to high lunge, holding onto that strap in one hand. Now keep the heart lifted, arms reach back behind you, finding both hands onto the strap as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Now lift the hands away from the low back as you lean back. We'll take 3 deep breaths in this back bend. Take a look straight ahead. Keep the hands where they are as you open up to warrior 2 legs. Let's take a deep breath in here. And as you breathe out, bow forwards for humble warrior. Find that strong connection between the inner thigh and the side of your body. Press into the legs, come back up to stand, release the arms out, warrior 2. The left hand is going to hold onto the strap. Start making your way to extended side angle, left forearm to left thigh, right arm by the ear, and then find your half bind. The right hand, the back of the hand finds your low back. Deepen this pose by dropping the left hand down, and then decide if you want to reach that hand around, so both hands hold onto your strap. When you find that bind, we can roll our right shoulder open again, looking up to the sky. Now let go of the strap. Press into the legs, rise up, warrior 2. And we can cartwheel the hands down, stepping back to downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come forwards to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale for a back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch the left leg back behind you. Exhale, step it wide of the left palm, and now spring forward with the right foot as well. Lower your seat down, finding Malasana. Bring our fingertips to the ground, seat to the sky, and pivot those toes ahead of your heels. Take your little perch, so it's your block on its highest height in front of the left foot, and locate the strap as well. All right, so step your left toes all the way up to this perch. You're going to bring your right hand to the low back, left hand comes underneath, holding onto that strap and finding a bind. All right, now go slow and steady. Press all the weight into the right foot as you lengthen the spine back out, bringing that leg with you. And when you come to stand, you can stay exactly as you are or slowly practice straightening out the left leg. Bird of paradise. Now we'll reverse our steps, come all the way back down, but now the left toes are going to step to the ground. Let go of the strap. Inhale, we can halfway lift. Exhale, float back down. And inhale, rise all the way to stand. Exhale, hands down beside you. All right, we're going to try that bird of paradise pose again in a little sequence here. Feel free to use any of these tools we've kind of learned to use, whether it's the strap to help bind or keeping the block close by just to tent the toe onto it. But I'm going to do them without this time around. So from the top of the mat, we're just going to take a big step out with the left leg, open up to the long edge of the mat, turn the right toes to the top, and then bend the knee, warrior two. So let's come into a nice deep extended side angle. So the hand on the ground perhaps, or that block, left arm overhead, and we'll come straight into our bind. Left hand to the low back, right hand reaches around, taking hold. Now really lean into the right foot. We're going to take 3 or 4 little bunny hops to step to the top of the mat. Left foot hop, hop, hops ahead. Now that left foot becomes your standing foot as you come up onto your right toes or your perch. Start really pressing down into the left foot as you start to lift up tall. Give yourself plenty of time. If you fall in and out, just come right back into it. And when you're standing, either focus again on balance or lengthening the right leg out. When you're done practicing on this side, reverse the steps. Bring the right foot back to the ground. Bring all the weight onto it as you hop the left foot back to where it started. Extended side angle. Let's press back up, warrior two. And we'll just switch straight to the other side. Right leg straightens, toes turn in, left toes turn out. Bend that knee. Come forwards to the left side. Hand on the ground or a block, right arm by the ear. Finding your half bind with the right hand, completing it with the left. Lean a lot into the left foot. Take a few little hops forwards. Hop, hop, hop to the top of the mat. Now that right foot becomes the standing foot. Lift tall into the left toes and begin to stand on up. Focus on whatever you'd like to focus on here, lengthening out the left leg or just focusing on this balance. And we can reverse those steps again. Left foot comes down. Hop your right foot back to where it started. Press on up, warrior two. We can come all the way back to the top of the mat. So switching sides, left foot straightens, toes turn in, take a big step back to Tadasana. Let's bring things down a little lower. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, float forwards over the legs. Inhale, step one foot back. Exhale, step the other foot back, downward facing dog. Just widen your feet as wide as the mat. Walk your hands back to meet them. Coming to our last malasana of this sequence. Hands in front of the heart. Now we can bring our hands behind us so the sit bones find the ground and wiggle your legs ahead of us with a bend in the knees, a little gap between those feet. Starting with your right hand, loop it underneath your right leg and hold on to the top of your left shin. Do the same on the other side. Now try to smush your chest all the way to the tops of your thighs. You can stay right here or wiggle the heels ahead a little bit more. Now we're going to focus on everything slowing down. Do your best to breathe a little deeper, lengthening out the inhale with a nice long exhale. Just notice that connection as the belly and the chest expand into the tops of your legs and come right back towards you. We can let go of our legs with our hands, bring the toes all the way to the top of the mat, and keep one block by your side so you can access it when we're on our backs. Find a little C curve all the way down until you find your shoulders and head on the ground. And we'll walk our feet so they're just under the knees. Let's lift our hips up enough that we can slide our block on its lowest or medium height under our sacrum, so this triangular bone at the very base of your spine. And then let the hips and legs relax once you find a comfortable position there. You might want to stay exactly as you are here in a supported bridge. Or if you'd like to relax the tops of your hips, your hip flexors, you can wander your heels ahead and allow the toes to fall apart. We'll be here for about 10 breaths in total. If you let your feet wander away, bring them back so they're under the knees. Press them into the ground to lift the hips off your prop as it slides away. And come back down. Keep the feet wide on the mat as the knees just go from side to side a few times. And when you're feeling ready for stillness, the heels can reach far ahead, the toes splay apart, hands back up by your side. I want to thank you for challenging yourself to fly with me today. Please stay resting as long as you're able to. This is where I leave you. Have a wonderful day.